When you call me that, you'd better smile. Hi, I'm Mike Bellevue, and today I'm here to talk to you about one of the most fun cap and ball revolvers I've shot in a while. This is the 1860 Army snub nose revolver. Now, this gun is made by Pietta in Italy, and it's imported by E.M.F in California. And let's take it out and show you what it can do. E.M.F's snub nose 1860 Army revolver is a tribute to the belly guns that were so popular in the mid-19th century. This gun is based on the full-size 1860 Army, which typically would have an 8-inch barrel, and let's face it, not the easiest thing to conceal, right? So almost as soon as these things came out, people started cutting the barrels off so they could hide them out easier. And these guns were generally called as a class belly guns, but they were also called Avenging Angels because they were very popular with the Mormon Danite group, which was a militia come vigilante group. And they were known for carrying these. And in fact, a famous father of a famous Mormon, John Browning, who is the dad of John Moses Browning, the very famous gunsmith, carried one of these himself. E.M.F's 1860 snub nose gun is on top, and my own homemade 1860 Army belly gun is on the bottom. And you can see mine has no sights, which is very typical, while E.M.F's does have a front sight. And mine has the 1860 Army grip frame, which most of these would have had. Certainly they would not have had this bird's head grip that comes from the model 1877 double action Colt, known as the Lightning or the Thunderer. So that's kind of a little fantasy piece there. Well, we're going to load up the E.M.F snub nose 1860 Army. And you're probably wondering how that's accomplished since it doesn't have a loading lever. And in fact, this is not just a gun with a cut-off barrel. This barrel was purpose-made for this. It doesn't have any of the rack and pinion spots or the slot that you'd have on a normal 1860 Army. What E.M.F provides you to load it is this push rod. And this is in two pieces. And it's just a simple brass rod with this kind of palm swell on it. But I'm here to tell you, anybody who can actually load a round ball with this would have to be Hercules. So I'll show you how I do it. And first of all, as with any cap and ball revolver, we're going to put it on half cock so we can free up the cylinder. Then I'm going to take a charge of powder. This is a 30 grain charge. And I'm just going to pour it right into the cylinder. I'm going to cover that with a wad. Now, a lot of people ask me, wads or grease, what's better for preventing chain fires? And in point of fact, neither one of these is really what prevents chain fires. What prevents chain fires is having an oversized lead ball and then shaving off a ring of lead. So it's very tight fit and no spark could possibly get past it. What the wads or the grease do is provide lubrication to keep the powder fouling soft. That's its job. And that's why I use it. Now it has a secondary benefit of also cushioning the bottom of the ball if you use a wad. Okay, so now we've got the ball ready and we've got E.M.F's brass rod, which as you can see it fits right in there. Now, man, there is no way that I can seat this with hand pressure. So what I use is just a plastic mallet. And as you can see, that gets us seated perfectly, and you can see the little ring of lead moving around over there. And that's what actually seals the chamber. So I'm going to load 5 of these, and then we'll go do some shooting. Well, I've got Evil Roy set up 7 yards downrange, because let's face it, if you're going to trade shots with bushwhackers across the canyon, the E.M.F 1860 snub nose is not the gun you're going to choose. But for 7 yards, let's see how she does. Got him good. Right, even though loading with this loading tool worked pretty well, it's not the way I prefer to load a gun without a loading lever. I prefer to load off of the gun on a cylinder press. And this one is made by Dick Dastardly, who also makes the Big Lube bullet molds, and it's called the Tower of Power. His name is really Dick Rohde, and it's a great little press. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to fill all 5 chambers with powder. All 5 I'm going to load. So we'll just get them all filled up. And last one. Okay, now I am going to seat wads on all 5 of the chambers. So I'll just put them all on. And this little tool here is a very nice little wad pusher. Okay, now I'm just going to put this in place, put a ball on it, and just push it home. And there we go. And I'll rotate the next one in place. And that's a lot easier than using a hammer. And then I got all my great little shavings here. And we just mount it back on the gun and mount it back on the gun and cap it, and we're good to go. Let's try a pair of belly guns against some water jugs. Not easy with no sights. Alright, last one. Well, let's face it, these guns weren't even made for shooting across a room. They were made for shooting across a card table. When you call me that, smile. When you call me that, smile. Well, that shootout scene didn't exactly go the way I wanted it to, but I only brought 1 bag of ketchup, so 1 take is all you get. When you call me that, you'd better smile. That's good iced tea. Well, we're going to finish off with kind of a blurry bad guy's view. Must be all that iced tea.